Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the merciful. Assalamu alaikum to all of you. And a very good morning to all of you, our honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you all on 64th Professional Inaugural Lecture Series and to extend a further word of welcome to everyone in this morning. I would like to start this ceremony today with a dua by Khairuddin Ramli.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa zurriyatihi ajma'in. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa azimi sultanik. Radina billahi rabba wa bil islami dina bi Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam nabiyyan wa rasula. Allahumma shrah bil Qur'anil azim sudurana ويسر به أمورنا وعظم به أجورنا وأحسن به أخلاقنا ووسع به أرزاقنا ونوّر به قلوبنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعل القرآن لنا في الدنيا قرينا وفي القبر مؤنسا وفي القيامة شفيعا وعلى الصراط نورا وإلى الجنة رفيقا ومن النار سترا وحجابا وإلى لقاء الله سبحانه وتعالى دليلا وإماما. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, muliakanlah kami ya Allah dengan kemuliaan Al-Quran. Berkatilah kehidupan kami dan anak-anak kami ya Allah dengan berkat Al-Quran. Terangilah hati kami ya Allah, hati anak-anak kami ya Allah dengan nur Al-Quran. Berikan petunjuk kepada kami ya Allah, petunjuk untuk anak-anak kami ya Allah dengan petunjuk Al-Quran. Ajarkanlah apa yang kami tidak ketahui tentang Al-Quran. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, berkatilah majlis penyampaian profesor pada pagi ini ya Allah, majlis yang diberkati dan dirahmati ya Allah dengan berkat Al-Quran. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, berikanlah petunjuk kepada kami ya Allah dengan petunjuk Al-Quran. Ampunkanlah dosa kami ya Allah berkat tilawat Al-Quran. Rabbana 'alaika tawakkalna wa ilaika anabna wa ilaikal masir. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azaban nar. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Jazakallah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have you here to participate in the 64th Professional Inaugural Lecture Series. And today's ceremony is on the professional talk on quality thinking, a way of life by Professor Engineer Dr. Shari Muhammad Yusof. To start this ceremony, I would like to call upon for the opening remarks and introduction by Professor Dr. Nu Abu Bakr. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome him with a full and depth of heart. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Good morning to everybody who managed to spend some of your time to come and join the session this morning, the Inaugural Professorship lecture series this morning. I think without further ado, I will just quickly introduce the professor will be giving the lecture today. Professor Dr. I.R. Sha'ri Muhammad Yusof is currently a lecturer in Razak School of Engineering and Advanced Technology, UTM Razak School, and he has done his academic program from bachelor degree, masters and PhD. Okay, his bachelor degree from US, okay, in industrial engineering, and then his masters in Birmingham, his PhD also in Birmingham University, which focus on total quality management for SMEs. And he was a member of various bodies, including the Engineering Board of Malaysia, okay, and also senior member of ASQ, American Society of Quality. And he has also been invited to be members and heading some committees at university level as well as a national level, which involve also with other universities. Okay? And before he joined the University Technology Malaysia, UTM, way back in 1990, he started his career working in Proton. Okay, that time Proton was just started, and he was one of the first team member that been sent by the government and the company to study and learn and in Japan to understand the work culture, the quality aspects of manufacturing and so on in Japan, and he has a quite vast experience from that, and been working in Proton for I think 5 years or so before he decided to join the university to be an academic. Started in 1990. Way back that time was in Johor. Okay, the faculty of mechanical engineering was already in Johor Bahru in Skudai, and they were. I mean, he joined our department, and that time I was the head department, which is industrial engineering and what is it, manufacturing, and that he grew further academically, did a lot of research, supervised quite a number of students, and up to date he has more than about 15 students, PhD students, which has graduated under his supervision. Okay, and he also did a lot of research work, got research funding, and published some of the research output in journals. Okay, in what is it, conferences, total more than 100 papers been published, as well as he used, of course, being one of the senior professor in the university, been called to examine not only student, masters and PhD in other universities, okay, like UKM, UPM and various others, UTM and so on. Also been invited to advise on certain programs, especially related to industrial engineering in other universities as well. All right, so his passion in quality started way back when he started his career, okay, and he has been instrumental in helping few organizations, of course started in Proton, to sort of help and understand and practice and implement quality, especially total quality management. And later he developed further his knowledge in the area of robust engineering, okay, and what is it, beside TQM, all those going into lean manufacturing, Toyota production systems and so on. In fact, he also participated in sharing this knowledge that he has by providing training programs and specific courses, okay, both in Japan as well in other countries like Saudi, Sudan and so on. Yeah? So I think Prof. Shari has a sort of colorful experience, and I think without further ado I will invite Prof. Shari to deliver his inaugural. No, even though the sounds is inaugural professor lecture series, okay, but he already got his professorship way back in 2008. Okay, it's not new. Okay, okay. So without further ado, I will invite Professor Shari, please, to deliver your lecture.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Professor Noh Abu Bakar, who is also one of my mentors also, the Dean of Razak School, Professor Waluddin, Professor Hairanom, my good friend from UniKL, and also Haji Ahmad Shukri Hamidi from Proton, distinguished professors, my colleagues, professors and also lecturers from UTM as well as from local university. I see a few familiar faces, and also and colleagues and my students, all my wonderful students that I see their faces here. First of all, I think I'm very grateful to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for giving me this opportunity to actually, share with you some of my thoughts and my thinking and also my experience regarding quality management, and also things related to industrial engineering. I'll be moving around. I don't like to stay at the podium being a lecturer, but before that I would like to actually recite verses from the Quran and a little bit of translation, just for us to remind ourselves. Bear with me 1 minute. Okay. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Iqra' bismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq. Khalaqal insana min 'alaq. Iqra' wa rabbukal akramul ladzi 'allama bil qalam. 'Allamal insana ma lam ya'lam. The meaning: recite in the name of your Lord who created man from a clinging substance. Recite, Iqra', and your Lord is the most generous. Alladhi 'allama bil qalam, who taught by the pen. 'Allamal insana ma lam ya'lam, taught man that which he knew not. So all this knowledge actually comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We being a human being, we just the agent to actually receive this knowledge, and the knowledge that we get is actually very, very little, too little. So I want to actually begin my talk by showing this slide, but don't worry, it's not. I'm not going to talk about all these things. Okay, it will be very, very complicated, and this is the spectrum of things that actually exist in quality engineering and quality management, right from the statistical techniques, as well as the tools, 7 tools, Taguchi methods, and we move from engineering to management, which actually encompass the principles on how we actually manage organization towards excellence. So leave this for a while, okay? This is so I'm just going to spend time with you, starting from basic fundamentals. Although I know some of you will probably have already knowledge and advanced knowledge and also understanding, but I want you to also at the same time try to find new meaning in quality. In fact, this morning also I learned new meaning. Every day in life we are always learning new things. So I'm going to define quality, and then from there I'm going to actually try to expose a little bit about total quality thinking, okay, how that's from my understanding, okay, and my perspective. And I'll share with you some of the research that has been done in UTM together with our team in as well as Johor and also in KL. And I'll share with you some future research directions, so that potential researchers as well as young people, budding researchers trying to explore new areas, you can have probably some ideas. And also I'll give some thoughts and closing remarks, probably especially to industry, if there are people from industry today. Right, Muqaddimah, beginning. Juran came up with this phrase. He said that all of us live, our life is actually behind the quality dikes. Okay? All of us are very dependent upon all products and services in our daily life. I mean, we depend on the quality of, our handphones, okay, whether it works, so that, Prof. Hainom can SMS me that she already arrived, so I know she's already here. So we are dependent on the full functioning, of all the things that actually we interact. This morning when you came over here, your car can start, right? So you didn't have any problem. So it's a quality car, right? So we depend on this. You know, in the Netherlands, this is where actually dikes are actually built a lot. And if you notice here, this is a map of Netherlands. And if there are no dikes, this is where, you know, the submerged area. Prof, boleh tengok depan, Prof. Submerged areas of, you know, the land. So their life depends on the quality dikes. Same as us today, we depend on the, for example, my talk today won't be functioning if my computer is not working, or even if this pointer is not working, right? So we are totally dependent on that. So, you know, you can think of all the products as well as services. We are dependent on the quality of water that we drink every day. You know, in Banjir, you know, in Kelantan, they cannot drink water because there's no water supply. They have to actually bring in Prof. Fauzi's water membrane, you know, machine to get clean drinking water, right? We are dependent on the quality of even the electrical supply. If there is a power outage this morning, I'm going to be dead here. I cannot present my talk because I'm dependent on the slides, and the slides dependent on. Okay, I think you got the point, right? So dams are being built. So maybe Kelantan, then the government should think about this, you know, using Netherlands' solution to solve Kelantan's problem. It's you know, you don't come up with a reactive. Every year there will be flood mitigation and, flood, what do you call, action after you have actually having the flood, okay? So dams built, these are all dams being built in Netherlands. Okay, so that's the first point that I'm trying to raise to you, that we are very dependent on quality of products and services that we actually use, you know, and we, even government services, we depend on the quality of services, even in UTM. Okay, students depend on the quality of services that we deliver to them. So how do we, what is quality? Okay, I only have 1 hour actually. So what is quality? I will start from there. What is quality? Not when quality. Okay, when is also a good question. But to me, what is quality? Quality, according to Joran, is fit for purpose. If you buy a product, this product, the purpose is for the user to be able to point. Okay, that's, if it doesn't function as what it is intended for, then it doesn't meet the quality, you know, expectation by the consumer or the user. A formal definition of quality is given by American National Standard Institute, okay, NC or ISO, which is the totality of features and characteristics of any product or services, to the extent that, you know, even you buy a simple product such as a pen, okay, what are the features that we actually, you know, look for, right? I like to buy Meiji pens. You know, Meiji pens are very, it's cheap and it's very, you know, lasting, and it writes nicely. And I give them to friends who are as souvenirs. It's good souvenir. So, you know, it's the features and characteristics. What about a car? A car is much more complicated. The features and characteristics of building a car, well, it's easy to complain about car. Yeah, it's very easy. But trying to make design, okay? Crosby said it is conformance to specification. Okay, I can go on and on about what is quality. I like this, performance beyond expectations. Okay, so if you buy a product or you ask for a service, you will always guess, you will always try to measure what is the, you know, the delivered performance against your expectation. If it is, you know, below than that what you expect, then it doesn't comply or meet the, you know, your quality specification. Okay, when I came back from US way back in 1983, do you know that at that time, when we wanted to make a call to US, we have to book a call. I have to book a call, you know, to call. I was having some, I need to call up my friends in US. I was studying in Miami, okay, Coral Gables. And I had to book a call. I had to call out the operator. Operator will call me back. I don't know, some of you already or too young to understand what I'm trying to say. You know, my expectation was in US, I can IDD, international direct dialing. I can call my mother, you know, immediately get the talk to her. But when I came back to Malaysia, the performance were beyond my expectations. What kind of company is telecom? So, of course, the expectation also depend on your experiences as well. Okay, and well, you should expect more, you know, better service, faster service as we are more, you know, exposed to different kind of experience. So that is another way of looking at quality. Taguchi came out with this, you know, not contradicting, but different view of quality. Anything that is not meeting the standards, the target value, okay, will be considered as loss to society. So his view is that quality is not defined by specific limits. It's actually, if you go beyond that limits, you are actually creating loss to society. I will show you, there's a specific slide on Taguchi later on. But for organization, if you know you don't have a specific understanding of what quality means, then you're going to be in big trouble. For example, you know, in university, if we do not understand what quality means or how we define quality, then it's going to be a problem. So quality is only useful and of value when it means the same thing to all people in the organization. That means everybody speak the same language when you talk about quality. For example, we meet customers. I mean, we are going to actually meet customers' expectation, right? I have an opinion on that. Okay, customers. Later on, I will share with you. Okay, and there are other perspectives of quality. There are, you know, transcendental view, user view, manufacturing view, of you know, when people view quality, and value-based view. Okay, quality depends on the amount the customer is willing to pay. Okay, that's why in China you can get any kind of quality level you want. How much you want to pay? Okay, so that's depending on the value relates to that. Okay, and Gavin actually created these dimensions of quality. Okay, so quality can be actually divided into these various dimensions. Performance, which is primary product characteristics. For example, a car, you promise that the car can be driven start 0 until 100 km per hour in 10 seconds. That is what you promise. Okay, that is the performance. If it doesn't meet that, then actually it fails. Okay, so what else? Performance. Okay? And then features, secondary characteristics that is actually added to the product to make it different. During the old days, there were no power window. Okay, remember cars without power window? We used to use crank. Okay, then when Proton started to, you know, introduce power windows, then they had a hell of a problem. You know, all the customers were complaining about power windows which were not functioning. There was a joke, you know, when you go to this toll, okay, toll, and you pick up this ticket, whenever the door is open, will always be a Proton. Okay. No, it was the old days. But good Datuk Syed Zainal actually changed that, changed the design, and actually gave lifetime warranty, resolve the problem. Proton were having proper Proton performance. You know, the engine, you know, were very good. Only small things that actually, resulted into their reputation being damaged. Okay, so features, conformance, okay, reliability. So all these are actually the dimensions that we can actually look for, including aesthetics, aesthetic or secondary features. You know, design, you know, boxy design. I like to make this joke, okay, but don't hate me, okay. You know, when Proton introduced this Juara, you know Juara? The toaster, yeah. No, it's not the toaster. It's a moving washing machine, you know. Okay. So, Proton thought that the consumer were similar to Japanese, you know, design. They can accept that design. They were probably they didn't do a good marketing survey to find out what Malaysians actually, what shapes they want. Okay, so it was a failure actually. Johor was a failure. So aesthetics is a dimension. And at the end of the day, actually quality will result into reputation. That is very, obvious. You can see the reputation of Japanese products. That's why Japanese, I believe that actually, Japanese focus on the reliability, conformance, and a little bit of aesthetics. Not but more reliability and conformance. So companies will have to select. They don't have to actually focus on all the dimensions to excel. Okay. So what features does customer actually look for in a shampoo? Do you know? Does anyone know? No, especially ladies. What kind of features, quality characteristics that you look for in a shampoo? Okay. Smell, color, design. But how men choose shampoo? It says shampoo, then man will buy. Okay. Of course, this is a product. It's a gender biased product. Okay, right? Now I found it somewhere in the internet. I thought I'd like to share with you. What features actually customers look for, and actually it's there. The biggest is actually brand. Brand in purple color is quite huge in terms of the percentage, right? Okay, the brand. The blue one is recommendations. But anyway, we are not going to discuss this. Okay, you can discuss and do a research on that. Right. I'm not going to bore with you the quality history and evaluation. I'm just trying to highlight to you that quality is nothing new. I think this morning also Prof. K highlighted to us, to me, that when does quality begins? It actually began when God created us. Okay, He created us in the best of form. But in terms of industrialization, okay, I believe is where during the Craftsman period. At the Craftsman period, quality was not an issue. Not an issue because everybody were actually producing their own, products. So they actually guaranteed themselves. But as we industrialize, then you move into inspection system, and you start to build. You start to design new ways of actually assuring quality through statistical methods, by Shuhad. Okay, but the turning point is after the World War II. Okay, Second World War, when Japanese were taught by Deming and Juran, that that changed a lot. Okay, the Japanese products were improving a lot and achieve world-class quality level. And then the Americans were actually losing on this race. Okay. So in late 80s, U.S. response to Japan, emphasizing not on the statistics but trying to embrace total quality management. That's when actually 1980s it started. Okay, but of course TQM actually, if people don't understand it properly, it's actually a philosophy. Later on, I will try to explain to you. They try to actually say, okay, let's implement TQM and see the results tomorrow. It won't happen. No, it is a philosophy. It is a way of thinking. It is a business model. So that's why they started to invent new things. I say people invented Six Sigma because they think TQM was not useful anymore. But Six Sigma is nothing but, a modified SPC version. Nothing. It's nothing but, SPC put into a different way, plus some other new tools such as DOE and so on. And now we move on into business excellence. Yes, business excellence framework, I believe in that because the foundation is actually TQM. ISO 9000, well, some companies do ISO 9000 and then put it in the shelf and business as usual. So ISO 9000, it's not really effective. And now we are seeing a Lean Six Sigma. Okay, so they come up with Rojak. Rojak, Malay we call it Rojak. So TQM plus Six Sigma plus Lean. So they combine everything. So next day, tomorrow, if I come up with a new philosophy, I'm going to introduce 10 Sigma. You want to employ me as consultant? I've got a new one, 10 Sigma. So don't be fooled by consultants. Understand the fundamentals, then you can go forward. Okay, right. So quality movement then matured, and what we see today. Even I'm reading a Samsung book, and quality is still the fundamentals. And now we can talk about dimensions of quality for men. Okay, so men, tell me what kind of quality dimensions that actually you. But Prof Hassan is not here. Prof Hassan will choose a Honda. Okay, I will choose a Toyota. Why? Well, it's one of the highest quality. Okay. Okay, Prof. This is okay. We can argue afterwards. Now, I've tried to actually show to you some of these. I call it quality aspects, quality in design. We always try to build quality in the design stage. And quality in process, quality of employees, quality of suppliers, quality of sales after sales. So these are some. I can put in others, quality in marketing, quality in production engineering, and so on. Just to show to you the difference that actually exists between consumer product, automobile, and undergraduate education. You can actually match and see. Right, for example, in quality of design in product, in automotive, you'll start from the concept, design, and then you go to the design process, development, prototyping, and so on, trial, P1, P2, P3, Shukri will understand me, and then T1 ka, T2 ka. And then go, to the process, deciding the tools, features, and so on. So it's very immense, okay? It takes a lot of energy, and of course it's not one person's job. Quality is never a one-person job, never. If you look at undergraduate education, so quality in design means that we are designing the program that meets the learning outcome, and of course now we meet MQA and so on. So it is designing the program, okay? We have to actually determine the facilities and so on. And the processes, I believe that, when you talk about delivering quality in process, all processes must be delivered based on the requirement, the content, the approach, the program outcome, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So you can see that, you can have quality in process. Okay? And to support that, you must have employees who are actually capable and competent of actually producing or giving lectures. Right? You need to have competent lecturers who have knowledge, skills, and of course the correct attitude of actually delivering the lecture or supervising students for research. Another big area is actually suppliers. Okay, all of us depend on the components, the parts that we actually use during the process of making the product or delivering the service. Okay. And don't forget that, you still have that after-sales requirement, quality of sales or after-sales, okay, spare parts, warranty claims, and on. That's why during the early, this is also still history. The Europeans started to actually sell cars in Malaysia failed because, for example, Fiat failed because they didn't have a good after-sales service, okay. So, but the Japanese transformed that. Okay, they brought in together, after-sales services, spare parts, and so on to support the product. Because if, for example, a car get into an accident, you need to change the door, you need to change this, bumper and so on, and you go to the sales after-sales center, it doesn't have the parts. Okay, or it takes you 6 months. Right? who buy a car wants the car to be kept in the garage or the mechanic shop? No one. Okay, we buy the car and we want to actually use it throughout our life of the car, right? Okay, there is this concept which is called the voice of customer, which was proposed by Kano. Okay, this top line here is actually what he called as the exciting quality. The second one is normal quality. This is expected quality. So Kano says that you must introduce new features that actually excites customer, exciting. Okay? For example, during the old age, or maybe 20, 30 years ago, when you buy a television set, it doesn't, how do you actually switch the channel? At that time, you have to actually use this, or push button, or use this tuning channel to actually. But they introduce remote, okay? So the older people who are old start playing with the, wow, okay, you can change. Wow. But now I heard there's, you can use handphones to actually integrate together. My children knows lah, okay? So that is exciting feature introduced into the product, okay? Which eventually become normal, okay? Every product, for example, handphone today expected to have camera. It was an exciting feature when it was first introduced, but today expected. If you buy a handphone, of course the smartphone lah, okay? Or a smartphone must have whatever features that actually is no more exciting. So designers, companies must think about the next exciting feature. Then only we can capture the market. If not, you will just be, expected quality. Right, so nothing, you're not going to actually increase your market share. So that's a very important concept proposed by Kano, and he suggested actually to use the voice of customer. VOC is actually voice of customer. I'm just, sharing that with you. Have you ever seen this photograph? Of course not. It's taken by me. Okay. What is the exciting feature? This is an elevator. It's in Tokyo. You see the platform level between the top and the bottom? I'm taking from the elevator is the lowest elevator that I have ever come across. To bring my bag, of course, it is. Oh yeah lah, but people with big luggage. But you imagine, the designer of this train station, thought about consumer, needs. Not in Malaysia. Okay, no, okay, I'm sorry. I'm a bit sarcastic. That's why I like to go to Japan. I like to go to Japan because you can see all those, quality features. Exciting. No, you go from this other side and you go down. Actually, you go to this side. It's fantastic. Having big bags. Can actually. But Prof Moa probably have been to this many times. Anyway, just sharing with you. Okay, how designers think about customers. What are the requirements? Right. So that's my first phase. Second, now I want to move on to talk about total quality thinking. Okay. I hope you have some understanding what quality means. I like this definition. One of the best definition of TQM. Okay. Even though it's a bit old, 1991, but I use this a lot. It is, when you say TQM, it's actually a management philosophy. It is a philosophy. And what does the philosophy actually contains? It says that it embraces all activities, all. In an organization, when you say all activities means everyone. No one person being left out, all activities. What for? The needs and expectation of the customer and community are satisfied. Okay, there's three components: customer, community, and organization objectives are satisfied. But not only that, we are talking about you meet the the needs. For example, organization, they need to make money. Yeah, go and make money, no problem. But about community, you must produce products that is safe and usable for the society. Right, that's the philosophy. But not only satisfied, but the most efficient and cost-effective manner. That's the difficult part. Okay, that's why Toyota production system have this concept of eliminating the waste. 8 waste, 7 plus 1, 8 waste. Why? Because these are adding cost to your products and services. Why must we sell a product which actually contains cost of defects? Who is paying for the cost of defects of products if the company delivers that to the customers? Who? You and me. Even organizations like UTM, we should think about how to deliver products and services that actually the most efficient and cost-effective manner. And by maximizing the potential of our employees. That means no one is left out. If someone just be what do you call rider, they just I'm driving and the fella is just tagging along. No passengers in organization. Everyone must actually contribute. And you see that the potential of employees, meaning that even sweeper has the potential to give ideas for improvement. That's one of the pillar in total quality management later on. Continuous improvement. Okay? So continuing drive for improvement. Or you can also come up with other definitions. And this is also another good definition. Okay? You manage enterprise-wide interconnected processes with full understanding, knowledge for exceeding customers' needs. Okay, even that one doesn't, and that one also have customer. Customer, at the end of the day, we, produce products or deliver services for the customers. Okay? And all these things come in. You need to have quality control, planning, improvement, assurance, and you need tools. Okay? So the total quality elements, okay, this is repeating actually, okay? So it is the passion to deliver customer value and excellence, but I think two most important things. Results focus. Even though, we are KPI driven today, but of course there's process management here. That's why TQM is complete. You must talk about the processes as well as results. Not just KPIs or results focus. But I think this is why companies fail, because it's actions, not just words. TQM need to be implemented, to be structured and actually planned out properly. Okay? And all these principles of total TQM principles must be translated into total quality practices. Okay? It covers from management leadership. I don't want to talk about management leadership. I will go into being very political. Okay? I try to control myself. Okay? Right, quality leaders. How do you define quality leaders? Because when you talk about management leadership, if you want TQM to be successful, or quality or excellence to be successful in the organization, so you need to actually address, or the leader must understand this, must be aware of this. So if you are everyone is a leader, you take care of your own small units, right? So give attention to customers. Number one, who is the customer? Today, you are all my customers. That's why it took me 1 month to prepare for this actually. My customers, to think about my customers. Internal customers are the workers, the employees. So, if management is brave enough, do a survey, ask employees how they feel about you. I challenge managers. You ask your subordinates, ask them what what are their views on the way that you're actually managing the organization. Okay, then you understand that, oh, I'm weak in that, I need to improve on this. Okay, listen to the customers. Empower your subordinates. Resources. We want to achieve excellence. No resources. I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? But if you talk about lean, yeah, it's fine. Try to optimize our resources. But no resources, results. It's a bit funny, yeah. It's a bit funny, okay? Okay, emphasize improvement and maintenance, emphasize prevention. Total quality is related to prevention, not not correction. So you are proactive, you plan ahead. You collaborate rather than compete. And managers should train and coach, not just direct and supervise. It's very easy to become a manager who like to, a manager just directs and supervise, or even another word, just direct and school. Direct school. Direct school. No. Train and coach. Learn from problems. Problems are very good. I love problems because problems are opportunities for improvement. And of course in our life as well. And you continually try to improve communications. A lot of industry or even organization problems are communication related. Miscommunication, wrong interpretation. Okay? And the rest of this. Okay? Choose suppliers on the basis of quality, and then establishing organized system that supports quality efforts. Okay? So you need quality leaders in order to create that quality organization, as well as encouraging and recognizing team efforts. Okay. Okay. I mentioned who is customer just now. Anyone who actually going to be affected or impacted by product or process developed by organization are customers. Customers can be end customers, internal customers. But recently, one of my students came to me and he was telling me some local university are just not doing a good job in managing quality. They treat students as customers. So in their ISO 9000, customers must be, treated properly, carefully. And some of the lecturers were threatened that, students failing, you should pass the student because they are the customers. No, wrong. Customers, students are customers, yes. But customers have responsibility. Customer is responsible to learn, to study, to sit for exam. If the student doesn't do all this, then you fail. I mean, don't worry, if as a lecturer, if you need to fail the student, fail, no problem. Even at PhD, I fail student at PhD also, okay? Right? So, customer is not right all the time. Don't believe in that philosophy. But I believe in some of them sometimes. I mean, it's worrying. It's worrying to actually, okay, you buy a new car. You buy a new car, say, okay, customer is king. Whatever you do with the car will just, change the parts for you, warranty. No. Customer bought a Proton Saga. The first week, he drove that car into an estate, with no proper roads. The car was not designed to be driven into estate or jungle. And they came back for the first service and said, I got this thing, not working well. You didn't use it according to the specifications, right? So customers, you must understand that. Not everything you have to actually, in general, yes, in general, customer is also all right, except, did the customer follow whatever requirements needed in fulfilling that? Okay? But these are being done by top management. Top management asking their employees to actually pass the student. So top management, wake up. If you are top management, okay? Okay, quality of performance. I'm sorry, I'm a bit, passionate about it. Okay, I share with you this customer behavior. Every customer complain will tell 9 to 10 people. This is a bit old, but it's okay, you know. If it is resolved, he will tell 5 people. For every complaint received, there are 20 others that are not reported. So, you like to hear complaints or you don't want to hear complaints? I would love to hear complaints because complaints are problems for improvement, right? And remember, you know, sometimes, especially Malay, we don't like to complain. We just, you know, kadar-kadar, you know, this is, you know, already masuk Facebook, okay? don't masuk Facebook. Okay? And it costs 5 to 10 times more in resources to replace a customer than it does to retain one. So, you know, organization must, you know, try to ensure that actually the customer will, you know, long retaining customers. Today there's customer loyalty programs, you know, that you have this customer loyalty cards and so on. So those are actually trying to, you know, keep hold of you, okay? And companies spend 95% of time trying to solve problem, and only 5% of their time to figure out what made the customer angry. I mean, they did, you know, people are not spending a lot of time trying to actually find out the causes of, you know, problems, okay? They only wait for a problem, you know, complain, then they will react, okay? So there are no mechanism, actually, there's no continuous improvement, basically, problem solving and continuous improvement. Right, I share with you this JD Power initial quality survey on automotive, on cars, which measures customer satisfaction and reports problems per 100 vehicles. So these are, you know, the statistics. And lately, if you see there, 2013, 2014, you know, the problems per 100 vehicles have slightly increased. Okay, I'm going to show you the US results. Okay, so it looks like. Number one is, how do you pronounce this? I have difficulty trying to pronounce it because I don't drive this, right? Porsche, okay, Porsche. Porsche seems to be, you know, number one, followed by Jaguar. This is industry average, 116. Well, where is Toyota? Toyota is better than Honda, see? Toyota is better than Honda, right? But, of course, this is initial quality, that means new owner, okay, the interview. I was previously, I have been interviewed when I bought my Proton Perdana in JB, you know. I mean, that's for Malaysian, I believe. And it says that JD Powers. This is US results. But there is another measure, which is actually called the VDS, Vehicle Dependability Study, okay. It measures problems experienced after 3 years of ownership. So probably this is a better indication of, you know, the problem. So you see that, number one, Lexus 68 problems per 100 vehicles. Okay, industry average 133. Honda is better than Toyota. Okay, I lose. Okay, probably I need to buy a Mercedes-Benz or a Cadillac, okay, or Acura. I mean, this is, I mean, when you buy products, you know, do a little bit of survey, at least indicative. I mean, I'm not, you know, sure the 100% accurate or so on, okay? But anyway, it's an indication. Mitsubishi is down here. See, Mitsubishi, Mini, okay? Right? I think JD Powers not only do surveys for automotive, they also do surveys on electrical goods as well. So you can actually have an idea. Anyway, so organizations, if they want to improve, they must, this is a kind of benchmarking as well. You know where you are, okay? Companies can, you know, design methods of trying to collect data for customer, you know, satisfaction survey. Negative feedback means customer complain, warranty claims, wait for things to happen. You know, proactive is actually, you know, using customer surveys, focus groups, and so on. Or you can, you know, analyze competitor products, do tear down, okay? Buy all the other models and start to tear down and see, you know, their different design and different performance. Okay, I'm going to skip that. I'm going to be a bit fast. Process management. Okay, I'm going to point out this, okay? Because when we're trying to produce high quality products and services, you must always look all processes, all activities as processes. There must be input, there must be steps of doing the job, there'll be outputs, outcome. So that's what we are doing also in university, inputs, processing and outputs. But I would like to stress this actually, we should actually try to ensure that the processes, they are actually value adding. You add value to the material that you use. Undergraduates, we add value. We should be adding value, in terms of their knowledge, skills, so that they are going to perform well in society. They don't become an engineer who doesn't even know how to read drawing. I mean, that's going to be big disaster. I've heard a few complaints from my students who are actually doing masters, and they complain about students who do not have the ability. Civil engineering graduate not being able to read drawing. I mean, that's fail basically. Okay, so value added processes, right from design, production, and so on. I like to introduce this Kaizen. Maybe some of you know already. Continuous improvement, but in this Kaizen, it's actually continuous incremental improvement. I've seen a video from this Masaki Imai. He said, go to the gemba, stand at the gemba. For example, this is gemba. I see this gemba. Okay, where's waste? And you start to actually observe and try to think about Kaizen, things about improvement. I was driving this morning, and as I approach Max Highway, okay, we have been living in Kuala Lumpur since 2009. No Kaizen at all. Max meeting Tun Razak, and then all merged there. Zero Kaizen, no Kaizen. So as a country, we are, and the customers are all, no, we cannot vent our anger, it will damage our car, So just move along and try to Facebook, okay. So no Kaizen. Kaizen is actually everyone, everywhere, every time, everything, everywhere, every time. How many of us actually think about Kaizen in our desk or in our place? Okay, just for idea. So Kaizen, continuous improvement. This guy is smarter than this guy. Okay? So make your choice. Kaizen or not to Kaizen, up to you. Right? If you want to, or organization, companies. I went to Singapore and I took the photograph. It's actually National University Hospital. National University Hospital in Singapore. There's a big board actually showing their quality improvement journey. Wow, hospital, I don't know, maybe I haven't been to hospital in Malaysia. Maybe they have this board, I don't know. But I know UniKL is doing a lot of things on Lean. I know Mazlan, Awang and all those guys, yes, this Lean. But anyway, I think we should think about Kaizen, we think about improvement, then only we can move forward. If not, well, we'll be like this until I retire 5 years later, okay? Okay. Another aspect of total quality is supplier management. Okay, I'm not going to go to this detail. The strategies for supplier partnership relationship is moving from the philosophy of keeping suppliers on their toes to mutual dependence. Okay, from large supplier base to fewer suppliers, if possible single sourcing. Okay, I think Proton able to do that because they move from small parts delivery and so on to modular, modular assembly, modular design. Okay, low cost bid to negotiated. Okay. I don't know whether it can work here or not. Okay, cooperation as needed. Company protect the knowledge, but moving to frequent joint problem solving. Okay, that means there's closer cooperation between suppliers and their manufacturers. Okay. Another important thing that I would like to actually sort of emphasize in total quality. Okay. I mean, management also important, you know, all these things related to soft aspects. But I think, you know, the statistical thinking that is required to understand processes is also very important. Okay? Because variation exists in all processes. That's why we have standards operating procedure. Okay? There are variation in terms of man, machine, material. Okay? And to understand variation, there's only one body of knowledge that understands variation, statistics. I don't know if you can tell me other body of knowledge which can describe variation and understand variation. Huh? No. If no, then all of us should, you know, embark on learning statistics, especially engineers. Engineers, I find mechanical engineers, they don't like statistics. I do not know why. We industrial engineers, mechanical engineers, manufacturing engineers, statistics is our so-called bread and butter. So we need to understand, you know, normal distribution and so on. So we need to understand CP, CPK. Then only we can try and talk about improvement. That's how the Japanese managed to actually produce consistent products. Okay? By applying statistics. They started Six Sigma earlier than Motorola actually. They don't want to tell the world that they're actually doing Six Sigma. But, you know, come Motorola, they start to, make it popular and so on. So Six Sigma is very popular, right? Okay. Taguchi methods is, okay, I'm not going to go more detail on this. If you not, make you bored. So this is also another important technique in quality engineering. Okay. And in fact, our group in Razak School is very close to Shin Taguchi, who is actually the guru in Taguchi methods. Very simple. Okay. Anything that we produce, you know, we are so used to normal distribution. This is a normal distribution. As long as within the specification, it's okay. No. We must target here best. So this is actually an inverse quadratic function. Okay, the further away that we move from the target value, the worse is your performance or your product quality. Okay, so we target to actually best. Okay, this is actually the target-oriented quality yields more product in the best category. So it's like Six Sigma as well. Okay. And this is the orthogonal array. And in fact, Razak School has been have been approved to set up a center, Genichi Taguchi Quality and Sustainability Center. So, inshallah, it will be, activities will be carried out after this. Right. And I do not want to actually forget about, this quality human resource. Okay. In TQM, people from management do a lot of research on HR. Okay, it is important. In fact, I have a student doing on HR as well. Okay, so TQM requires employee development, employee cooperation. So, at the end of the day, we depend on employees or workers to do a good job. Okay, so we have to create that culture. So, a quality culture that actually nurtures high trust relationship between management and employees, shared sense of commitment, respect for humanity. That's Japanese, okay? Very Japanese. Welfare of employees are actually being taken, and they want to listen to opinions even at the shop floor level. Okay? Right. The next thing I'm going to, share with you is actually, people ask me how to measure whether the company is TQM or not. How? So I say use framework, TQM framework. Okay, I'm going to just mention 3 TQM framework. The first is Deming Prize. Deming Prize is the first quality award that's been established. It is in Japan. Okay. It's actually being managed by the Japanese Union for Scientists and Engineers, JUSE. Okay, and if you look at the criteria, it's actually complete. Okay, it actually measures how the organization actually should have or should organize or should practice, should operate to achieve excellence. Okay, so that's the main prize. US government, okay, I do not know what you call this. An act of parliament? Of course, not the act of parliament. Okay, the Malcolm Borish National Quality Improvement Act of 1987 was established with the sole purpose of, if you ask me, to fight the Japanese. Establish this so that organizations have a way of trying to evaluate how much they actually have, implement total quality management or quality practices, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this actually, outlines. It is actually, the operational is actually based on law, but in Malaysia, I come back to Malaysia lagi. Okay, in Malaysia, we have the Anugerah Quality Perdana Menteri, which 1999 UTM won. We won this award. Okay, but today if you search, you find Anugerah Quality Perdana Menteri, Prime Minister's Quality Award, Prof K, shaking his head. No more. No more. Why? I don't know. I haven't a clue. But until today, 1987, how many years? 27 years. I read in their website, 1,500 organizations have actually went through and applied for the award. And 90 organizations have actually been awarded for different categories, because they have category for small business, for education, for healthcare, for non-profit organizations. We set up in 1993 during Tun Mahathir, and now we have Anugerah Inovasi Perdana Menteri. Anugerah Inovasi is just for one product. If you want to create an excellent organization, you should measure the whole spectrum from management strategies and so on. So if you look at this criteria, this is the criteria for evaluating an organization whether it is excellent or not. Leadership, how upper management lead organization and how the organization lead within the community. Strategy, how do you strategize? Do you have a vision, mission, and so on? Customers, how do you actually manage, measure, analyze, and have knowledge management? So all these are criteria that evaluates whether it is an excellent organization or not. Okay. EFQM, very popular in Middle East. I have students who are actually doing research on that. I will share with you after this. If European Foundation for Quality Management, for European organization, same. These are enablers: leadership, people, strategy, partnership, products and processes, and these are the results. This is business excellence model, and they are using it until today. Okay, ours, we have actually, make it small. It become the Quality Management Excellence Award, managed by Malaysian Productivity Corporation. Okay, which is this framework. Ta-da, okay, this is business excellence framework for Malaysia, but at a minute scale. Okay. So it's only managed by, I don't know whether this year there was award or not. I was invited 3 years ago to become the final auditor for companies that actually came out to be the 3 top, contestant to be the winner. Of course, we have good companies. There are organizations that are actually excellent, sincerely, okay? But, we are not, I think we are not serious, okay? I think we are not serious. Sorry for my, a bit emotional, okay? So I'm going to the end of my presentation. Okay, These are photos of excellent organization. 5S. Okay, maybe almost near to Proton, near, not exactly. Okay, you see, assembling with white gloves, easy access to tools. Okay, you see these chairs are actually folded in automatically. That's how they eliminate the workers, the user possibility of not actually putting it back. Think, yeah, there's a thinking here. Well, even we went to Toyota this last October. We had lunch at the cafeteria. All the bowls were actually tagged with RFID, I think, with the cost. For example, you pass through and then pass through the tray. Total 200 yen. Total 500 yen. Eliminate, no waste. The bowl is actually run through and we go to the counter at this restaurant, start pressing the calculator, okay, $5. Then the same thing, this fella comes, $6. Okay. No, I'm not complaining. I'm saying, okay, I'm saying. One of my students came over in, last 2 years, Japanese. And he went to the restaurant. He wanted to have lunch. He was going to the restaurant and he was asking me, how much to put? How much do they charge? Then they go to the restaurant and there's no standard. In Japan, there is standard. This bowl of rice costs 300 yen. And you put 2 fried prawns. But here, how much? If I take 3 prawns, how much they charge me? Malaysia, we don't have standards, okay? We have standards, but I don't know what happened. Okay, we have flexible standards, Prof. Okay. We have flexible standards. Finally, I say to the student, dai tai means roughly, you put roughly, they will charge you roughly, okay? Very sad, very sad. Okay, this is visual control, bots, very nice. That's why I admire Japanese way of, managing organization. Okay, finally, just to share with you, my, some of my research. In fact, Prof. Baba is here today. My student is already a professor. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Development of benchmarking framework. Okay, I'm not going to show all this, even though there is a hyperlink. Okay, Nilda. I'll just show this. This was done actually in Proton. Okay, Zainal Fitri is not here. Okay, but he's okay. So we actually, okay, let's keep it very short. We developed the new sound. Me and Prof. No, sorry, Prof. Together. New sound for Proton car door slamming, door closing, to be used as a standard. By benchmarking with, in fact, Zainal Fitri, managed to actually reach to the level of Phaeton, Volkswagen Phaeton closing noise. Okay, can be done, but of course it took him like 6 years. Anyway, those are things that actually been done. Okay, okay, I like to share this as well. We actually trying to develop a performance management framework for a research development organization in Saudi Arabia. So we are using the business excellence framework to actually use that and use that to evaluate R&D organization in Saudi Arabia. So that's also another thing that inshallah you'll be finishing soon. And Farhad also, the future of quality. And also I'd like to share this UAE. We are doing UAE. If you go to Dubai, you'll be very impressed. I mean, those who have been to Dubai. I think this is the only country that actually quality is being dictated from the top, from the Sheikh himself. From the Sheikh himself, you must implement quality. UAE. Okay, Mehran is here, my student. So if you go there, you can see actually, we're trying to actually look at different organizations, how they have actually achieved the what, and how are they sustaining it. Because sometimes it's quite difficult, because Malaysia, we were number one, in 1960 bola sepak. Now we are, excellence, yeah, you can achieve excellence, but sustaining the excellence is very difficult. Those who are, in my area will probably understand that, okay? Right, and other things, okay, Alhamdulillah, I have, wonderful students who we are developing. This is good, human values identification assessment tool. So what this tool does is actually to be able to identify how does the human actually, feels and value when they actually go through this TQM implementation. So a software has been developed and it's web-based, okay? So we, these are the things you can ask Norman after this, okay? Anyway, so these are things that actually, can be explored and try to make it refined, and you further understand how to actually improve the implementation of TQM organizations. Okay, Jafri also finished, Alhamdulillah. And in fact, I have also a student who are actually doing quality management implementation in Sudan, okay? So that was where these Sudanese engineers were asking me how to evaluate organization whether they have achieved TQM or not. Is there any certification like ISO 9000? Very difficult. But I say no. You go and apply Deming Award. Go and try and apply Deming Award. Because Deming Award, there are foreign companies that have been won. Okay, like for the Power and Light, Tata, In fact, Sundan is aircon manufacturer. I read a book, Quality in a Company, by the chairman of Sundan. The strategy is actually for all companies around the world in Sundan, their affiliates and subsidiaries around the world, to apply for Deming Award. That is their, strategy of building quality in the organization. Latif is also here, quality management in Petronas. Okay, so future directions. This is my last stage, okay? Sorry, I've taken some time. The big issue is implementation. Okay, I think a lot of fields, even in strategy, in change management, implementation. Many organizations fail to stay the course on implementation and follow it. Okay, perhaps this is what mentioned by Samson. Perhaps those who know a lot about quality concepts may not know enough about change management. So probably there will be a need to integrate, change management into, business excellence. Okay, that's why they have strategy as part of their criteria. Recurring issue with many organizations, even some quality award winners, is implementation. Okay, so how can organizations sustain quality? Especially when there's a lot of management succession. It's quite difficult to, when the new management, then they start having a different philosophy. So there is a need to study those enduring top-tier enterprises on a global basis. So if we can survey top, performing organizations which can actually offer insights into their enterprise traits, leadership, and so on, then we can actually learn a lot. Okay? Okay, innovation is one of Baldrich's core values. And it has been suggested that TRI's systematic innovation methodology, be integrated together with quality management. I see that direction as well, and it's also been reported. Right. And also cross-disciplinary research, how to integrate, key concept of quality management, performance excellence, sustainability, all these have to be actually talked about. Okay. I did a small survey, okay, and this is actually the future of quality in Malaysia, but it was actually a very small survey. And we asked this question about the barriers, right? Soft implementation barriers. So it seems that the lack of knowledge about quality tools and practices seems to be still lingering in Malaysian organizations, okay? And cost of consultancy and training excellence is hindering organizations. Sometimes the consultants are charging too much for people to improve, So that is also something that needs to be looked. And what are the key forces of change? This is from our study, but I'll show you another one which is actually found by some other studies. Innovation is actually the key, force will actually change for organization to become excellent, as well as globalization. Okay, so this is what was reported. Okay, key trends that will transform the future of quality. So quality professionals must develop and better use more strategic thinking skills to adapt to 4 key forces of change. Globalization, okay, customer certification. Customers today, especially the Y generation, Y gen, we don't understand the Y generation. I also don't understand my own children, okay, sometimes, not all the time, okay. Customer certification. Talent management and leadership issues, still, something that needs to be studied. And also sustainability, okay, environmental concern and social responsibility. Okay, I'm not going to go to this detail. This is what I say. I found the same thing being, this is the, this is what he suggested. Okay, structured productivity. This is the structured quality, and he's saying that there is the structured innovation. So I think there should be a merging of quality and innovation as we go, from here onwards. So future research areas to develop implementation approach, sustainable, for example, for small and medium enterprise, to integrate the philosophy of trees and other tools, including Taguchi methods, because Taguchi methods is actually looking at functions, okay? How you optimize the parameters so that you actually ensure that the products fulfill or meets the requirement within the noise factors that exist. Okay, so there is a need. Trees is also function based, function analysis and all those things. And still supplier quality, I think there will be a need to further research. Service quality, applying Lean and Six Sigma in services. Some people are going to that. And how to sustain business excellence. That's also another important aspect that needs to be, studied. So final thoughts. Why is it difficult to achieve business excellence? Many answers. Okay? But I think, first of all, we must believe in it. Do we believe in it? Okay? Okay, is it difficult to implement? Do we perceive it as not our job to think about quality and act upon it? That's why I call this talk quality thinking. If you're not thinking quality from today onwards, there's something wrong with you. Okay? You are not doing a quality work, you're not thinking about quality, there's something wrong. We here means leaders and followers, everyone. And I think excellence is never easy, never easy. Okay? That's why it needs patience. I forgot the word passion, bro. Passion and patience, okay? Perseverance, persistent, and so on. And I remember this, this famous quote by Feigenbaum, who is the author of TQC, who said that quality is a moving target, okay? It is never fixed. Well, perfection is it's not for us human beings. Perfection is not for human being, it's for God, but we should aim for perfection, right? And Deming also said, well, if you don't want to do it, it's okay. Survival is not compulsory, you can, do your own way, right? If you don't want to implement total quality or quality, so survival is not compulsory, okay? So I think total quality management is a process to excellence in anything that we do in an organization, in fact, in life, okay? We are created perfect. So we need attitude change, we need to build excellence culture, prevention mentality and so on. And of course, the cost of poor quality will be reduced. I have a very good video on the cost, but I don't have time to show that. It shows how the Space Challenger exploded. I think in my class, I've shown those, So those things, will be, improve as we implement quality in organization. And increase employee happiness index. Okay, that should happen. Less stress. Less stress. More work but less stress. We can use three principles, you know. Less stress, more work. Okay, so find the contradicting factors. Okay, processes must add value. Okay, processes must add value to customers, not bosses. You know, you don't add value to your bosses. Okay, because at the end of the day, the customers are actually going to be the judge, right? So you can use VSM, value stream mapping, and so on. So don't waste the brains you have. Okay, knowledge management and preservation of talents. So we need to actually have system that preserve the knowledge that we have. Okay, it has been said that there will be two kinds of companies in the future: companies which have implemented total quality, and companies which are out of business. Okay, so companies that survive actually implement business excellence. And I read this book. Okay, and when they changed the new management strategies, they still kept quality focused management as the key strategy. Okay, so the core concept of Samsung's quality focused management is that improve the quality of people, to improve the quality of management, to improve the quality of products and services. Okay, that's Samsung thinking, right? And Gandhi said this: it is the quality of our work which please God and not the quantity. Okay? And I like to quote from the hadith: Allah loves that whenever any of you do something, you should perfect it. Okay? Arabic I forgot. And it was written by my student actually, just to tell you. Awad Al-Harbi, he wrote in the New Straits Times. If you Google, you can search for this: quality and perfection as espoused in Islam. Okay, he's the guy who's doing the performance measurement in Saudi. Also, these last words, okay, it's a hadith. Okay, indeed Allah has prescribed excellence in everything. Ihsan, al-ihsan. Okay. Inna Allah katabal ihsan, and so on. So if you kill, then kill well. Well, apa kena mena bunuh dengan excellent kan? Terperanjat orang. No, when we slaughter the animal, where's the machine? Where's the machine? How to ensure there is no variability in the machine? The machine is the knife. The knife must be sharpened. Where's the SOP? Standard operating procedure. The way that we actually slaughter, SOP, there is SOP. Right? The material, the raw material, that's wrong. So if you look at the process and the components, God is asking us that we actually excel, right, in anything that we do, even to the extent of, things that we slaughter, or even kill well. So take home lessons. At whatever position or level in the nation, everyone has to pay. I've said this many times. Okay, so make quality a way of life for yourself and our country and in this world. Okay, but before that, I like to acknowledge everyone. Okay, everyone, my PhD student, my industry colleagues, I'm a member of APIMS, Robust Quality Society, my wife, Nur Aisha, my children. Forgive me if I miss anyone. Okay, but I'll just share with you a little bit of a photo slide, before I end my presentation, snapshots of the journey, some of the memorable moments. Of course, I didn't manage to. I was hoping that Prof. Rose was here, but she's not here. Okay, we were in Meiji a few years back. That's my Shin Taguchi, professor. He is Mr. Shin Taguchi. We had this workshop 3 years ago. And these are Meiji students in Professor Awaluddin's house. Okay, we went to have dinner there. Right. This is second cohort DMP program. So if your faces are there, I'm in the steering committee as well on the left side. ICRQE, okay, all my good buddies, Dr. Rijal and Dr. Rosita, okay. Okay, there's convocation and also our conference. Well, these are moments that we cherish. Convocation, the first Meiji graduates. We went to Japan for a conference. This is my Mr. Jaffrey, those who know Mr. Jaffrey, my oldest student, okay. Alhamdulillah, he graduated. I was in Jeju last October. This is the MP program in June. Eddie is there, okay, I can see your face. And we went to Nagoya for the intensive TPS program in October. And it was wonderful to be in Toyota. In Toyota, you know, meaning in production line in Toyota, right? Okay. You can read the 5 main principles of Toyota and so. And last was in Bangalore, okay, the second RQE, robust quality, and the last trip was in Khartoum, Sudan, okay. It was a delightful experience in Sudan. It was my first ever trip, and it was fantastic. That's the River Nile, Sungana, River Nile. Okay, with that, I think I would like to thank, special dedication to my guru, okay, this is Professor M.A. Rahim. He actually came over in 1991 when I started as a young lecturer. He forced me to write a paper. He forced me. Say, publish, you know, send this paper to this international conference of productivity. I was struggling, you know, I was writing this, it was one of the lousiest paper that I've written. But, you know, he actually gave me a lot of ideas, and we are still in contact, okay. So thank you very much for attending and listening. I really appreciate. Domo arigato gozaimashita. Jazakumullah khairan. If I've taken a lot of your time, apologize. If there are questions or any opinions, feel free to, interact. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Jazakallah khairan, and thank you very much for Shari for your professional lecture. And part of the process of these sessions, we expected to get feedback, comment from 2 moderators that has been invited by Professor Sha'ri himself. So we have the first one, Tuan Haji Ahmad Shukri from Proton, and he's a GM. He's an engineer, but he's working in finance for Proton now. Also my colleague, we were studying in UK last time and so on. And we also have the second moderator, Prof. Dr. Khairunum Sumari from UNIKL. I think you are one of the deputy president now of University Kuala Lumpur. And so I will open this session for feedback from the 2 moderators. First, I invite Prof. Ahmad Shukri, please. Please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Still is morning. Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Ahmad Shukri Hamidi bin Abdul Hamid. I'm with Proton since 1984. Basically, a mechanical engineer by qualification, but then since then I've been the head of various departments, head of production planning, and then head of manufacturing, head of procurement, and then now I'm in finance for the GST implementation. So an engineer can also be a part of finance division member. So not, but when I start off, basically to me, we have to continuously learn something new. So engineering work is once you are there for more than 10 years, it seems to be routine. Okay? So, okay, let's get back to the talk. So, it is about quality. Yes, I would like to thank Prof for the openings. Well, to me, it is the first time I attend this kind of talk, so it covers a lot of areas. Yes, but looking back from my experience on quality, yes, we start off with inspection way back in 1985 when we launched Proton Saga. Our quality means you produce and then you inspect based on the inspection sheet that was being prepared. The Japanese taught us, okay, that. But as we go along, then we introduce QCC. QCC means people then how to make improvement. Even the plant maintenance also how to improve. But there are people who then come back into the company saying that, well, we have to follow how the how the aviation industry do the maintenance. That means come to the point you change. Come to the point before it breaks down you change. But to us, that will be very expensive for the industry because it's still working, the component is still working, why must you change? So it is more of how to get the quality into maintenance. So people to understand, yes, it is not to, how to ensure that yes, the breakdown is being taken care immediately, but that breakdown is being input again so that in the future we will know what are the characteristics of item or the condition that give us a signal, early warning to say that yes, the machine is going to break down. Because aviation, that's why aviation maintenance is very expensive because to them it's no failure at all. But for us, it is not a life-threatening incident. It's more of line stop. Somebody got to go to the management saying that, yes, we have a 5 minutes line stop, 1 hour line stop, but that line stop should have been done if we were to do our maintenance properly. Okay? But it has to come back to the what is the cost of maintenance. So the quality into maintenance that we have done, and then the ICC we have already implemented in terms of innovation, innovative. So basically it is more of what people give ideas. Okay, one per idea, RM1 is given to you. You submit one idea, RM1, and that idea be evaluated on how much. Well, if it is after the committee have evaluated, then how much are we going to pay for that ideas? The best ideas that we have, the company gave the team that come out with the ideas around RM1,000. So it is a monthly event, and then it's quarterly being evaluated, and then annually there will be an award for the best innovation. And then we are also participating in terms of ICC, the international convention. So I think this year they went to, the team that got the 5-star went to Korean. I think they went to Korea and then also to another convention in Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. So basically, yes, we are trying to get everybody to be involved in quality. For the industry, basically it starts off from the intention of a project. So it's to be a new vehicle. The concept itself, what is the requirement of this vehicle? Okay, the starting from the concept, that means the styling people, what are the things that you are going to do? Then there will be a benchmarking, as what has been said, benchmarking. There will be a tear down of the competitors' vehicle to understand what are the things. And sometimes the issue here is, yes, that process has been done. But when it comes to the big bosses, they don't care about that. They just have a dinner last night with somebody, then tomorrow they come back and saying that, why can't we do this? Why? Because at the dinner table last night, he want to show that we can do it. That so-called spirit of proton boleh sometimes is dangerous to ourselves. Because then to him, it is always, I want this. So that to me, that is another issue with the management, the new management. Because then to them, when the ego comes in, okay, to me, the words ego comes in because I'm not going to be behind from everybody else. So I always want to be in the front, so for me to show to the people, yes, we can do it. So if initially it took us 1.5 3 years to develop a vehicle, then it must be 24 months to get a new car out, and then after that it will be 18 months, and then we are looking at 15 months. When I look at that, yes, Toyota can do it because everything is already designed and everything is already proven, is on the shelf. So you just pick up and then how to integrate. Whereas in our case, we do not have that many models. So every vendor is new, they do not have that ready off-the-shelf item which is technically proven. So that's an issue. In Malaysia, we do not have that the company that so-called have technically proven component or product. Every time it is starting new. So once you start new, something new, then you have to go through all this process. And when that process is being shortcut in every possible manner because you want to achieve the schedule, already the set schedule, the engineers will say, no, we have to test this for 24 or 200 hours because then it has to be done in that way, but the management will just come and say, why can't you do it? Or you want me to find somebody who can do it. That is when the engineers will just shake the head and say, okay, I give up. So when it comes to quality, yes, everybody want to have quality because it is inherent in us. Quality, we want something that is beautiful, we want something that is reliable. But when it comes to business, that's why I found out that the business, they only want profit first. So when my visit to Japan so many times, I found out that the Japanese management, the head of the company is very passionate about their company that they set up, and then is very passionate about their product. The head of the company will then take me to the shop floor, and then he will then open up the tools, show me everything. Whereas in Malaysia, the head of company only wait for lunch, greeting, and then a little bit of opening, and then after that is up to the salaryman. Salarymen will then have that pressure to deliver. And then whereas the head of the company don't really have the intention to get that quality into their process. It's always, I want to have that result. So that is where for the local company, when I was the head of procurement, I always ask the people, okay, how can you improve? How can you improve? We have the early in the morning breakfast meeting. We call these vendors who have a problem. That was way back when I was the head of procurement from 2003 to 2006. Because the difference between multinational, there are multinational companies, there are local companies that is already have technical collaboration with multinational, but there are really local companies who develop by themselves. But the issue with the local company who develop by themselves, there is always an issue with, okay, we will only employ those who are already proven from other company. It's not that you employ somebody new and then develop from that. So that is where I found out that these people, because of they want to come in at a certain level, there is always cost increase to the company compared to others. Cost increase because you employ somebody who is already experienced. That is the cost increase to you. You cannot just reduce the cost, but your component is very small. How to maintain that cost when you employ already the so-called expensive personnel? But that expensive personnel, to him, he says, okay, these people will deliver, but are you sure that they can deliver? That is another issue. Because then it's not only one person, as being said, it's not only one person who can deliver, it has to be the whole company. And for that one person to really develop the whole company is very, very hard. Especially when the bosses are not really keen on the business, it is only keen on making money. So we have to be very clear. Ensure that business runs smoothly is slightly different from making money, because making money, once you have the profit, then you tend to divert that profit to other money-making business that is going into property. And that's, I found a lot on the Malaysian. So, the business value processes, yes, that being touched, basically to me, we are looking for Proton, we are looking into it every time that we want to develop a new product, we go through that. To me, I'm fortunate because when I implement the SAP system in Proton, I got to start the process from the dealers, how did the dealers take the order from the customers, and then from the dealers, how did the information being fed back into the distributor, EDA, and then how did EDA then come up with the order to manufacturing, and then how did the EDA knows which model to be produced. The information comes from R&D, and then in manufacturing that we will do the product planning, the material requirement. That material requirement goes to procurement then have a portal to give out all the schedule agreement to the vendors for them to supply accordingly. And then those information then feed back to finance for payment. So it's fortunate that for me to really understand all this process, and then basically in each process there must be quality, especially on the documentation, because that is sometimes we fail. The documentation, we can look at the physical component, yes, we can know that there is quality requirement, but when it comes to documentation, the computer only knows the correct numbers. Somebody key in incorrectly between 0O, 0Q, or because somebody's handwriting is not proper, and then give to the person who want to key in the data, he will just key in and saying that, yes, that is the parts that we have ordered, but actually that number is not in the master data. Then that start the whole waste. So that is where we have to start classes. For those who have handwriting, that required, you have to have a proper handwriting. Because we start off with that. Because improper handwritings mean inaccurate data entry for those people who are okay. So other comments that the performance beyond expectation, I think that is basically, it is ongoing. Everybody, it is a challenging environment. We know something already being launched in US. Oh, there is this new product with the new features. So when it comes to Proton, we still develop to that, or we have to change. Why? Because the expectation is that the customers already know there is these new features. Why don't you have that features in the, so if it is already in the design stage, to go back from the starting of design, that is when the quality issues will crop up. So the financial issues, yes, the quality basically costs a lot if there is a lot of repair work need to be done. The warranty issues, the warranty, the quality on the component, it costs warranty claim. The warranty claim is the cost to the business. So on the craftsman, I will say is that how to create workers who are passionate on their job, who will feel proud that I'm doing this. So that's why we are trying to propose, can we have a day where the family come and look at how their parent or their spouses work at the production line, although he is only installing screws or installing wires, so that he will be proud of what he's doing. That pride will hopefully improve the quality of his job. Right? So I think that's all from me. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Tuan Haji Ahmad Shukri, for your feedback. And I would now like to invite Professor Khairano to give your feedback, please. Thank you.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon. First of all, congratulations, Professor Dr. Shari, for a very good talk this morning. I can feel and see the more than 20 years of experience and knowledge within just 1 hour plus. So that was excellent of you to do so. And I don't know, we on and off relationship like that, because we met more than 20 years ago in UK. We were having the same supervisor. He did very well in terms of quality. I stopped doing quality for a while because I was doing something else, but he maintained doing quality. So quality dah sebati dengan hidup dia lah, gitu. And I hope he will become one of the renowned professor in Malaysia, because not many professors preach, talk, and practice quality. So UNIKL is privileged to have me, one of the quality person, as a top management, so that we do things according to the quality. So my portfolio now is Deputy President of Student Development and Campus Lifestyle. The branding sikit lah kat situ. Because we no longer talk about student affairs, because if you look at Maslow triangle, the affair is just the bottom thing, and what goes up is the self-actualization of self-development. And I use the experiences of being not your level, but some experiences in quality to develop a quality person. So we are more focused now on the characteristics of the students. Because regardless of the SOP you're talking about, all the statistics, the variation and whatnot, what matters most is the inherent quality of a person who does it. And when we say that, it's in your talk, it's about connecting the 3H, which is the head, you know what to do, and the hand, you know how to do it, and most importantly, the heart, why you do it. So you do it in theoretical, you do it for the customer satisfaction, for the customer delightment. but actually you are doing it because that is something that you will carry with you. Whatever you do, you carry with you as an investment in the lasting world. So that is the truth of the matter. If you do it because of profit, you will get profit. If you do it because you want to satisfy customer, you will get satisfied customer. But if you do it because that is what you're supposed to be doing, because it is investment for you to carry in the everlasting world, then that is what you do. So the why, the heart, is very important. And I kind of like the way you present things, because you look at the life cycle of the product and the services. So from the very beginning until the very end and the closure of the loop, the life cycle. So whatever we do, we need to look at the whole processes, the whole life cycle. So you need to add the value-added engagement points across the life cycle so that you satisfy or even delight your customer. So that was very good. The issues about sustainability. May I quote somebody quite famous, Alvin Toffler? He said that the illiterates of the 21st century are not those who cannot read or write, but those who refuse to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So that is where our problem is now. We cannot sustain our excellence. You talk about football, favorite of all the guys here, I suppose. I don't know why people play football. You have like 21 guys chasing about one ball. I don't understand that. But we cannot achieve excellence because whatever we have learned 20 years ago, that's it. We refuse to unlearn and we refuse to relearn. We were there before, but other people have gone beyond us. But we don't learn from them because they say, look at where they were before. I was there earlier on. So that is our problem. The Japanese become who they are because they learn, unlearn, and relearn. They achieve a certain level. The American move ahead, learn from them. They learn back from the American again and again. It doesn't matter whether it's your enemy, but you need to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So that is how we can sustain our excellence. And I really like what you say, customer sophistication. That's the term. I think you need to coin that. Because we only talk about understanding customer, but we do not understand that our customer become more knowledgeable, more sophisticated. So what we understand about our customer a long time ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that is how we want to satisfy them. But people change. It's the same, but they change. Yeah, so you need to understand that. So may I use that? Whenever I want to use it lah. Okay. And one more, perhaps, just one last bit. I think because a lot of things have been said. I quite like where we are going now in terms of halal certification. Because quality, you have quality standards, ISO, you have all the safety standards, all the environmental standard, but there is a standard that not only pleases your customer, but pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is getting the Halalan Thayyibah certification. So I think we should be championing that, because we have the experts. If we don't, we should learn how to certify according to because you have according to Quran, according to Islam. That is very important. And the halal industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So we better move fast or we will be less. So thank you for sharing, and thank you for letting me know a good person, a knowledgeable and skillful professor. And I think there's a saying, and the saying is always true, that behind a successful man is a wife. But I'm a wife, I don't have a wife behind me, so, but I have a very awesome husband. So congratulations, Madam Noraisha, for supporting your husband to become who he is right now. So I think congratulations need to be said to you as well. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Prof. Khairano. Excellent feedback, comment that you share with us, and there are things that we can also learn from that, the comment. Yes, we have to move forward. Okay, we have started, like for example, when the previous Prime Minister want to make the country more industrialized, giving opportunity for people to have better living and so on. Okay, and we started with a car industry. Of course, earlier was electronic and so on, but there is not so much of our own input in it. But automotive is one of the first industry that we have started, where we want to have more of our own people involvement in it. Okay, we have progress, but there are things that we desire to be better than what we have achieved now. But the suggestion by Prof. Haranum just now to go into this halal industry, okay, I think we are not too late to be that, because at the moment the halal industry, what is it, participations, okay, is not so big from within Malaysia. Okay, the participation in the halal industry is much bigger from by other countries like Thailand, Brazil, Netherlands, and so on. I mean, we start asking why, why are this country? Why not Malaysia? Why not other Muslim countries in Middle East, for example? Yeah. So I think it's not too late, but I think we should move forward into that area in order for us to improve and serve the humankind. Yeah. All right. I like, before I open it to the public, give a few minutes for feedback from the participants here. Talking about meeting customer requirement, I think all the while when we talk about quality, we want to meet customer requirement. Okay, so because no customer, no business. A simple thing, yeah. But there are people who are so innovative, so ideal in the way how they perceive things. They go beyond that. It's not to satisfy customer. Even they mold the customer. They design the customer in such a way they appreciate something which they want to provide. Look at Apple, for example, Samsung. Okay, they mold the customer. They mold the market. Okay, in such a way that people are waiting to have something new from them. Okay, they change the lifestyle of the people and so on. Yeah. So I think that is very far for us to reach to that. Even to practice quality, we are not there yet. We have achieved certain achievements, certain level of achievement, but still a lot more desired to be improved. Okay, what more if we compare to this leading industry like Apple, like Samsung, at the moment Toyota and so on. In fact, they not only just satisfy the customer, that even they change the way how the customer live and so on. Yeah. All right. So I open for maybe another few minutes. We are quite late now for the feedback or any question or input from the participant, please. Yes.
Assalamualaikum.
Yes, introduce yourself.
My name is Arul Hisham. We know a long way, Sha'ri, Prof. Sha'ri. Actually, the title of your talk caught my interest. That's the reason I come today. Because quality thinking, a way of life, which very, very apt. For example, you mentioned about comparison between Japanese and Malaysian. You look at Japanese, a simple example is the water closet where you do your business early in the morning. Normally, when you first sit on the seat, there's some water coming out, a little bit of water. Just so when I went there, I was wondering why this thing come out, and then after you stand up, after you finish your business, then another round of water comes out. Okay, so I start thinking, why is this thing happening? You know, why they design it that way? And I realized that the first round of water is to wash or to actually so that your stool will not stick to the bowl. By doing so, they don't need so many Bangladeshi or Indonesian to wash to become the janitor in the hotel. They only need one old lady, maybe 60 years old, a Japanese woman that go around and clean the room. And they don't have to wash the toilet. They don't have to do all that. And the toilet is also made in cubicles, easy to fix and fast to fix. Meets people's expectation, although it's a bit too small for some people, you know, because the Japanese are small. But having said that, because I come from the I'm doing construction industry, further away from Professor Shari field, but we have problem in the construction industry. That's why I'm trying to relate what you are saying today with the construction industry in general. Okay, cleanliness in one. But my question is, have you done any research to find out why the Japanese think that way and not in Malaysia? Because the same person who works for Proton with all the TQM, everything, can be a very good workers in Proton. When he goes out, he becomes a little bug. He can become a little bug. That means he does not follow what Proton teach in the factory. So we have a problem there. We have a disconnection there between the person and what being practiced. Yeah. So is it in the Japanese DNA that they behave in that way? You see, everything is so clean, everything is so systematic. Even their cars is also of course, has been one of the top in the world. Another issue I would like to share is, you mentioned about statistics, and many people don't like statistics, and as a result, we have problems in the construction industry, whereby when you do evaluation of tenders, you take plus minus 5 from the mean, plus minus 15% from the mean, based on the price, on the cost. So you have two cases. Now one is the 3 sigma distribution curve, and if you take the person who is at minus 15% from the mean, obviously something will have to go, something will give, yeah. But this is what being practiced outside. JKR is doing that. I believe UTM evaluation panel is also doing the same thing. Okay? Therefore, how do you make people? Because your focus is more on manufacturing, but a lot of things that you said can be used in the real or in the outside field, other field than manufacturing. And lastly is that normally people associate quality with cost. How do you change this concept or this perception? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arul, my good friend from FKM, long time ago. So the first question was, how can we make sure that people who actually have that inside the company they behave differently than outside the company, is it? How did the Japanese manage to do that? But these are cultural issues, right? These are attitudinal issues, and it boils down in the way that we actually bring up our children, or in our education system, in our culture, tidak apa attitude, you know. So it takes quite probably a transformation, a revamp, many generations. Sorry to say, okay. 5S, no 5S. Malaysia, no 5S. Sorry. And also, if got 5S also, is MPC 5S. You know MPC 5S? Inside the drawer also, they ask you to draw the pen. You know, draw the pen, draw the. It's not what the Japanese taught us. You know, it's overdoing. In Japan, when they are very creative people. If you notice when you go to Japan, they will think they are very meticulous. Dia fikir sampai lubang cacing. They think. No, our thinking is only superficial, atas angin je. You know, even the construction industry. I bought a house with hundreds of defects. Okay, what's happening in the construction industry? I don't know. What kind of quality level are being produced by the industry player? I teach actually program construction management, project quality management, and there's a lot of issues. You know, these are we cannot control. There are wahyu projects. There are upper hand, underhand. I don't know. So it's a cultural. It's what society accept, what your industry accept. Your industry accepts projects to be bought and then subcon, until the end will get the project with no money. So that's the nature of industry. I'm sorry, I'm generalizing. No. So your industry is responsible for the quality that you produce. I'm in the manufacturing. I'm very happy with the high quality that we in the manufacturing try to produce. I don't buy a handphone which tomorrow it starts to crack and rust. No, my house, we buy a house 500,000, 300,000. After 1 year, the bumbung bocor. I mean, what kind of warranty claim or what kind of warranty, So the industry is responsible. Not me. I'm sorry, Arul. Not me.
No, I'm not blaming you. What I'm saying
But I'm trying to put back to you so that you think there are a lot of things. You can build quality in the design. You can build quality in the processes.
Exactly. Because
I went to one company in Toyota which makes houses. Sekuse Heim. It is a factory that makes house. Control environment. No, you don't have to bring in Indonesian worker. So if there is no innovative way of changing the industry, we'll be like that forever. The construction industry, you make houses, make buildings. Even I asked them, can you ensure that the layout of your delivery of the cement and the what you call sands are arranged like manufacturing? No, we cannot do that. It's so complicated. What do you mean it's so complicated? Things are, we human beings, we can design. We can actually dictate. We know where to put things. I mean, we cannot come up with all the lame excuses and start blaming others and saying that, we cannot do this because of this. So that's my personal opinion, Arul. So the contractors, the consultants, all actually...
Exactly, but looking at your area of interest or area of research, perhaps because construction is also a process, from the design until completion, and the customers is everybody, you, me, everyone here.
There is a group, actually, I think there are people I've offered myself to be part of the team many times.
You know why? Because people are talking about IBS. To me, I can see IBS is not yet as far as it is today. it creates more problem because people don't understand how it's supposed to be done. People in the factory has a different method of doing things, whereas when they try to do the same thing for IBS products, they suffer a lot of problem. You know,
That's why the industry. I was
Yeah.
talking to one professor from civil engineering who are actually, in modular and IBS. Simple thing like standardization, deciding the diameter of this pipe. Okay, one company to another company IBS cannot agree upon. So how are you going to standardize? But in the manufacturing industry, there's a lot of standardization because industry players come up, consensus. So if the industry, everybody try to make their profit and, money, I mean the industry won't survive. Everybody trying to survive by their own. But if all the players sit down together and start deciding, okay, this is the way forward. We need to standardize this. We need to follow these procedures. We need to set up these industry standards. Then you see light at the end of the tunnel. Now, I don't know. Okay, I hope you understand.
Okay. Thanks for your feedback and comment, and I hope that we can also think about the future work that we can do to assist this. Okay, if I were to also share my complaint, I can have so many. I don't need to. So I open to the participant again, please. Anybody want to give input, feedback? They can? No? Please. I think all of you are already hungry for lunch. It's already 12:30. Okay, I think if there isn't any more feedback, I think we end here. And I would like to thank you. But after that, I want to pass this to the what is it?
Thank you so much, sir.
Program, what is it?
Yeah, sure.
MC, please. Okay. So thank you very much, everybody, for all your participation, both from UTM as well as outside UTM, who make your time this morning. So I'll leave it to the MC,
Sure.
please.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, it was a great pleasure to see you all here, and specifically Professor Engineer Dr. Shari Muhammad Yusof. He is a wonderful man with a fountain of knowledge, and he has shared his real experiences, which he has learned from industry, and his charismatic and leadership personality actually he led us to think about the way we need to think in quality perspective. I would like to call Mr. Professor Dr. Awaluddin, Dean of Razak School, to give a token of appreciation, specifically the first who actually gave the opening remarks, Professor Dr. Nuh Abu Bakr. Now I would like to call Mr. Haji Ahmed Sukri Hamidi Abdul Hamid, General Manager Finance Proton, and Mr. Awaluddin will be going to present the token of appreciation for him. Now I would like to call Professor Dr. Kharnum Subari, University Kuala Lumpur, now to get one token of appreciation. And finally, a well-deserved token of appreciation for Professor Engineer Dr. Shari Muhammad Yusof for the speech today, what he has given to us. Sir.
You get the biggest one.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to extend our gratitude and thanks to all the role players that have made this event possible. And at the end of this event, I would like to thank all of you being here And it's really a pleasure to see you all here with the marvelous minds and thoughts. Thank you so much. And now I welcome to all of you to have some refreshment here within this corridor. So please join us, all of you over here. Thank you so much, and I'm closing the ceremony here.